it was a famous meeting with oligarchs, like maybe a year after Putin came into power, and he declared officially and openly to them the new rules, saying that all the major businessmen or oligarchs, as we say, need to become national and work for the interest of the state. Or if they keep on being globalists, the state will need to defend itself and the people from them. So the majority of them fled to London and to other countries, but the majority of them are in London, like Boris Berezovsky. Some of them fled to Israel, like Mr. Gusinsky. And I can tell you that all of them, it's funny, they all owned major media in the country. Berezovsky owned First Channel. It's like CNN. And Gusinsky owned NTV. It's like...
and there were also lawsuits. It turned out a bunch of them were fronts for the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds sued, and then in court, the judges said, no, it turns out the Rothschilds have been running Russia for 80 years.
Yeah, definitely. And still, for example, our central bank does not report to our government. And it's a big problem because the globalists are doing everything.
That's key. You're saying 18 years later, Russia still hasn't drained the swamp fully.
We're still 1 foot in the swamp. We have our army, we have our special services, we have our foreign ministry, but the economy and the finance, where the globalists are the strongest, is still a problem.
Well, I was about to say next, it's funny because I was always critical of our special services. I knew it was infiltrated and run by bad guys. But it was in this last election, they saw it was all real. It was the military, it was good elements of the CIA and other agencies that actually got the intel out. WikiLeaks, it wasn't the Russians, and all of it. And actually, that's now the main line with Trump is the military, particularly the Army and the Marine Corps now, against the globalists to return the country. It's not that they're perfect. They just think America should run America. We're not going to use it to fund world government. We're not going to be used like Russia to do all this. I mean, they use that as an example. They know. How can they ever go back now, Andre, now that the cat's out of the bag, now that the program's out?
Well, Alex, the main objective for all of us, for all the people here in Russia, for all of you fellow Americans who support nationalism and tradition and Christianity, is installing public relations with each other without globalists. We need to create our own networks to deliver truth. I am like ultra imperialist, in a good way, Russian who supports Russian empire. And I tell you Americans, please be sovereign and strong. I don't tell you be weak. I don't tell you that we want to conquer you. I tell you be strong and defend your national interests and not the interests of a bunch of globalist oligarchs. That's the difference. We all need to be strong. We all need to defend our national interests. It doesn't mean that Russia and US always have the same interests, but we need to discuss them as national sovereign countries and not as different departments of a big transnational corporation. That's how they want to see us.
And by the way, I
urge America to be strong.
Absolutely. I watch some of the Putin speeches and things, and he says the same thing. Be strong. Take your country back. And once you do, we want to do business with you. We have a lot of resources. We're ready for business. It sounds like the Wild Wild. It sounds like John Wayne saying, let's do business and let's be Christian. And that's what pisses off Hollywood. It's so obvious, Andre. It's sick.
Well, definitely. And the more we talk about that, the more we expose them. Both here in Russia, we still have a lot of problems. You see, Ksenia Sobchak is coming to Washington.
Now, you have your own problems, but I noticed that they said, oh, Putin really wanted Hillary. Well, he hedged his bets. I watched the Duma when Trump won. People were crying. They were celebrating. That's what I saw.
But we were happy not because Trump is a Russian agent. We were happy because Trump was a chance for us that globalists that control the United States would leave us alone and let us live the lives we want to live. And that's the point.
Well, that's right. And my God, I couldn't imagine how many Russians and Ukrainians and Poles did the leftists that took control from the U.S. kill. I mean, I actually feel like we should apologize to Russia, even though I wasn't alive then, that America let the leftists come over there and gang rape the hell out of you.
Well, unfortunately, it was also made on American money, on the globalist money. We know that Trotsky came to Russia from New York, where he has relatives.
That's right. It's all historic. And now They run the neocons. We're all going to come together, though, to defeat this. All right, Andrey Afanasyev, thank you. Well, come back on